Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Nebo TV. My name is Nekme Obasuge. We are broadcasting live from Toronto, Canada. And today we have a special guest all the way from California, United States of America. Councillor Paul Akinjo is currently running for the mayor of the city of Lathrop. Later in California. Sorry. So you are welcome to the program today, sir. Councillor Akinjo position. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Nibotibi. Thank you, ma'am, for having me. Yes, circumstances sometimes will take us to areas where we think we may not be acceptable or we may not serve or that our capacity is not there. But, when I came from Nigeria, I came directly to Oakland, California. This was the height of the crack epidemic. Yeah, it was really, really a stressful moment for me as a visitor or as somebody that wants to establish myself in the United States. Because everywhere you look, people are dying. Young women are almost to the extent of craziness, babies having babies. So, Black as African American, we are hated, period. Let's just put it that way. Even though we were not part of the manufacturing process, we just sell. But unfortunately, we sell in our community and we damage the community. And I was looking at all this situation. That's what am I doing here? How can we stop all this madness? So I got a job as a security officer. And from there, it's still not enough. I was still thinking that we can do better. We can motivate our people to change. And I found that education was one of the reasons. When I say education, I'm not thinking about reading and becoming a PhD and all those things. Just basic knowledge of your surroundings and logically looking at, if I'm not manufacturing any drugs, why am I buying it? Why am I involving my children? Why are my children dying? I lost 2 children and I lost my wife too to the epidemic. So I have no choice than to look for.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I was forced to really take a deep dive into solution. Everybody's talking about motherhood. I appreciate our mothers, but I was thrust into the fatherhood, a single father situation at a very early stage, barely into 3 years in my coming to the United States. So those things shaped my way of thinking, and no leaders had a solution at that time. I couldn't do anything either. You have to be. That was the list on my mind, to become a politician. That was my mind is survivor. How do I survive? How does my son survive? We're only 2 left. How do we survive this situation? So that is where we start again. We start all over again, rebuilding, trying to rebuild the family back up again. And all those obstacles shape my way of thinking. To shape my way of thinking that, look, it's either you have to trust yourself. You cannot do this half-half. If you want a solution and you want a better future for your son, you have to be involved in the process. And that is where I started. So my first started from the church, actually, from the Catholic Church. So the Catholic Charities, which I was a beneficiary, their attempt then was to build low-income housing with their emphasis on immigrants or people that has been deprived through the crack cocaine epidemic. So I fall into that category very well. So they were able to secure apartment for me and my son. But in paying back, though, you have to help others to build. So those are where the selfless services comes in. But those things were not enough for me. They were not enough for me. So I decided to enlist in the United States Army. So from there now, I was really getting, now you are getting to, you are getting to the core of the society, the dynamics of the society now. That too cost me a lot too, because my service, I have to temporarily put my son up for, not for adoption, but into a foster home until I can come back home. Yeah. And he was very damaged from that experience. So, but we came back together. It was a lot of work. We came back together, and I have the custody of him back, and we started to gradually put things together until I decided to get married again. So that is when we moved from Oakland to Lathrop. So that is the story in short. Maybe down the road you might have questions. So what happened in Lathrop, and I'll be able to explain.
So exactly what happened when you got to Lathrop?
So what happened, that means I'm still holding down my job in Oakland, right? That means I have to commute 2 hours from Lathrop back to Oakland, back and forth. So that one too, it was not ideal. So we tried to look for businesses. What can the wife do while I'm away or gone to all these things? I'm the one that moved us to go to Central Valley Lathrop. So we do not know anything. We go to the city hall. There's no help. You can get a business license, but nobody actually, the city does not really have anything about how do you establish a business in the first place.
But Lathrop is a small city, right?
Yeah, it's a small city. It's a small city but the African American community was about 0.03% about 20 years ago. So there really was nobody. And what came to mind that the type of business she wanted to do was a beauty supply business. But the kind of beauty supply like braiding and all those things that we African likes to do, the market was not there unless you are selling for Caucasian at the time. So we too, I took the blame for that lack of good, adequate research. So, and in between that is when the real estate of 2008, 2006 to 2010 collapsed, and people were losing their homes left and right. So I couldn't quit my job to move. So I stayed there and doing the commute and all those things. So, but I started thinking that, wait a minute, there has to be a solution to all this madness. How can we streamline? We have two things now, businesses. At the same time, how do you save your home from being foreclosed on you? Is there any help out there? Apart from you not knowing what you are signing, it's a good thing to have a home. But many people sign those papers without even looking at the tiny, small print and stuff like that. So those things started to weigh heavily on me. So that's why I decided to run. I did not win the election. I wanted to make those changes. Those are the things that the government can perform better, helping the people. I'm not saying this government should pay for the homes, but they can direct you to the banks. They can write letters of support. They can do all those things to save people's homes or to encourage them to do small business training and stuff like that. They can do that. That is within them without costing them any money. It's just a phone call. Just a phone call that, okay, can you attend this thing that they are doing in the neighboring city? I think the church is organizing how to save your home.
Social workers used to take care of such situations.
Yes, yeah, you are right to some extent, but you have to be referred to them. You have to be referred to them, and that is where the city hall can do. They can do those references that taxi cab needs for you to get a taxi cab permit. How does the permit goes? Where do you need to go? Do you need to go to the state? Do you need to go to the county? Can the city only permit help you? But if you are crossing your city to another city, you might need a special permit that you are carrying passengers across borderlines. So those things are there that people were not aware of. People are not aware until they get these huge fines. So I decided that the only way is to fight within the system. So I decided to run for the city council in 2012, I think. But
long time ago.
long time ago, yeah, it was something has to,
yeah, something motivated you,
yeah, to do those things. So, but I did not win. But I came close.
Yeah.
We were about 11 contestants. So I came third.
I don't want to interrupt you. I remember a few months ago, a couple came to my office. So I was complaining about the system, how we are being excluded from the system. The woman looked at me and said, "Why don't you run for a political position and be a mouthpiece of others?"
That is
the way she said it, you can see the body movement, the way she looked at me like this, and I said, "Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, I'm not ready to run." But for me, it was historical for me that the way she even said it, she looked at me like this, said, "Why don't you run and be the mouthpiece of others?"
Look, me, Mom, when you look at those things that drives you to the political system and to have a mouthpiece, it's very simple. The basic formula is very simple. If you are not at the table or your people are not at the table, possibility that you're on the menu is high. And many African American, either Nigerian or African born here or other African or any. That is why things look so hard, because the mouthpiece is not there to fight on the behalf of the newly arrival or all those things. I have campaigned on those issues that what you are doing now should have been done years ago, but it's a good timing for Africans to be able to take advantage of Nibo TV so that they have now a bigger mouthpiece that we need to participate in the powering process. Without the political power or the will to go in there and represent the people and become a mouthpiece, we just going in circles. We just go in circles. We all want to come to the United States and go back after 10 years. But now we know that 10 years is barely enough. You are scratching the surface. It's barely enough. We want to have the PhD and go back home and live at general GRA and all these things. But things change and no more GRA, nothing. So we must well participate in the process. So that is the story in short for why I'm on the city council.
So you ran in 2012. You didn't win. So what happened? You ran again.
So what happened was that since I came close,
yes,
there was the political will at that point too. Now I have an experience on how to campaign, on how to go around a little bit and tell people the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. So they decided to appoint me anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They said this guy has done everything that is required of him. So the current mayor that we are talking about, I know you have a question, was on the city council just like I was at that time. So he moved to the mayoral position and he has 2 years left in that position. So they said, well, let Paul fill that 2 years position. Then in 2014, he can run on his own. So
you see the popular quote that says, "No harm in trial." Try. No harm in trial.
Oh, yeah. So you asked the question. I'm just telling you what's the dynamic behind it.
I wish you didn't run for the first time. You would have not get that opportunity because
Yes, that was the thing, and it has been a lessons for me since then, how the political system works and stuff like that. And subsequently, I've been re-elected, uh, 2014, 2018, then 2020. So because now people see what you can do, what you are capable of doing, and you have built, like we're talking about our women, and our women stepped up. Uh, they stepped up, even where the men are reluctant. That guy just full of big English and all those things that we normally do. But the women said, look, there's somebody there that we can relate to.
Yes.
And we can call him at any time. And he comes, he shows up.
Yes.
So when women take that position that he shows up, that was a tough one for the men to.
Exactly, because you are accessible. That's
Yes.
what you want. The counselor that is accessible, that you can call him, he will be with you whenever you have anything, community activities, community events, he's there with you. Whenever you have any problem, he's there to help you to find solutions to some of your problems. Why not? Why not?
And that's what happened to me. I didn't have nobody when we were doing all this running around for businesses and stuff. But now that changed. Now businesses can come to us now. And they know there's somebody there that will hear them out. Yeah, not give money there. We don't have money to give, but at least you can direct people to where they can find solutions. So it's been very interesting journey.
So interesting, exactly. Very interesting. Wonderful. Look at, where you started from, your family, your wife, your children. You see, it's sad, but God knows the best, right?
Yes, yes.
So let's quickly look at are you affiliated with any political party in the US?
That's correct. Yeah, I'm a registered Democrat.
Oh, you're a Democrat. This
Yes,
is
but
that all the black people are Democrat?
no, it's not. It's not that all black people are. That's an assumption, but it's not true. For instance, in the city of Lathrop, we have non-partisan city.
Okay, yeah.
If you are running for election in Lathrop, you have to appeal to Republican, independent, everybody. There's no designation whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican.
Oh, okay.
So there's some positions, like if you are running for state assembly, for instance, you will have to have a designation.
Okay.
Whether
Yeah.
you're a D or R in front of your name. But locally in our city, we do not have D or R. So that means this guy, whoever is running to be the mayor or to be a council member, has to appeal to the wider audience.
So you don't, but you don't have to be affiliated with any political party in order for you to run for councillor
No,
and mayor. For sure, I know that. Even in
you
Canada.
don't have to. But it is nice to be affiliated to a political system. Remember that recognition that I was appointed to that position. It wasn't that easy as I made it sound to be, because we don't have the time. That's why I just shortened it. It's not that it was well acceptable, but it's because we are affiliated. I'm affiliated to the Democratic Party. They came out and wrote letters to everybody that if you have a president, this guy is the runners-up. It makes sense to have him occupy that place instead of conducting another election to select the representative. So it does help.
Okay, that was the advantage for you.
That was the advantage. So I wanted to be able to understand that when you have people behind you, You have people behind you, a political party behind you. It helps. It helps. I don't want to minimize the effect that it doesn't help. No, you have to belong to something.
Interesting. So the mayor himself is also a Democrat, right?
That's correct.
Okay, no. So
Yeah.
let's look at the next question. What is the reaction of the Nigerian community and your family with your political aspiration in the country?
That is some of that we have covered. That is very deep.
Have you been getting support from the Nigerian community?
Okay. I need to take a deep breath in that area. Mhm. Like we discussed offline in a little bit ago about
Mm,
our initial perception about any of us running for political office.
mm,
Just like when I wanted to go into the military, is that you meant you left Nigeria to come and join. You start to get all kind of pressure. You understand? What are you getting? What exactly are you gaining from enlisting in the Uncle Sam or American military services? The same thing with the political system.
mm.
One, we're afraid of our accent. Uh, People won't hear you. Yeah, your accent is the first thing they hear, and they will not even. And besides, it is too dangerous. They might just shoot you. Or you start to hear all kind of stuff. Just whether it is good intention or not, or just some creating some fear. So it takes a while for Nigerian community to get warm up. But we are now. Here you are. I was introduced to you, and we still have another lady in Oakland. Like I said, these are all sisters that are looking at what their men is going through
Mm.
and decided to get together and say, look, we need to help these men. They think they know, but they don't know. So that one is there in Oakland. Uh, they've been able to organize virtual meeting like we are doing now to help me. But as for locally at the city of Lathrop,
Mm.
even though we have few churches here and there, we have Kenyans, we have Sierra Leoneans, and we have Zambia, and all those other communities in the city of Lathrop. We do have Nigerians too, but I have not seen, I can make that confession to you. Locally, I've not seen our people. And
So you are the only one in Auckland. You are the only Nigerian person running for a political position.
in Lathrop,
No, I mean in Auckland.
I wasn't running for political position in Oakland.
No, any other person running.
Yeah, there is a Nigerian running for city council
Okay.
in Oakland. They have this organization, NEPAC. I'm not sure if you heard about them. They have NAPAC, Nigerian Public Affairs Committee or Commission. They have them. So they have
Okay.
all these names. I will send you some of the links. I'll send some of the links that you
Okay.
can see. But locally,
Hmm.
I'm trying to respond to you that are there Nigerians in Lathrop?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Lathrop is a small city. Maybe there are no many Nigerians there.
They are Nigerians. They are even in the neighboring city. Lathrop is close to Stockton and Tracy.
Hmm.
And I know Nigerians bought $1 million homes. They are here. They are here. We just don't see the importance of power
Yes.
play. Like
Yes.
I said,
Hmm.
just like what we discussed. The women are able to see it,
Hmm.
but the men are not warmed up onto it. So I can just feel at least I get some few calls,
Hmm.
but not really like you rally. You know what? Because I'm trying to expand your question.
Hmm. I get you. Yeah.
This is an election. Are there Nigerians helping you to walk the street? Are there Nigerians helping you to distribute flyers? Are there Nigerians knocking door on your behalf? If that is your question, and I can conclude to say no, the answer is no.
Oh, that's impressive.
But from other ladies, I don't want to mention their name, in Oakland, and they were able to come together and raise funds to support my campaign, because they see, just like you are seeing it, women are able to see clearer. It's a gift for the women. They see clear things and they're able to see the vision and assimilate the vision more than women are. So
yes, I told you earlier that
yeah,
we are more critical. Yeah.
yeah,
Before before we throw our support to anyone, we first look at that person critically, look at the environment that the person operates before we throw our support, because we are very critical. That is what I told you earlier. For women to be supporting you,
yeah. But what's happened to the men? What's wrong with our men?
men, I will tell you what men can do for you. Men are very good at donating. That is what I observed, because I've been doing these social kind of programs for a very long time. When it comes to donation, men will donate big for you. The women will throw their support for you. They will socialize with you. They will go to the streets, help you distribute flyers.
Yes.
We are very good at doing that.
Yeah,
But
yes.
when it comes to donating some amount of money, the men will do it for you.
Okay. All right.
I'm telling you.
I will stay with you on the next election.
Agree with me. Agree with me. I've been
Yes,
doing this for a long time. I've
yes,
done
ma'am.
so many fundraising.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
yes,
Yes. Thank you for that. Thank you for that enlightenment. Yes, thank you. Yes.
yes. So yeah, if you win this upcoming election, we'll come to California. We'll come to
Yes. Thank you.
celebrate
We
you.
will. We will win. We will win.
You
Not
will win.
if. We will win.
You will win. I know that you
Yes.
will win. Yeah.
Yes.
So let's look at the next question. What are your plans for the city of Lathrop? What will you do differently from the previous mayors?
So Lathrop is still growing, and when you find yourself, that's a very popular question. You find yourself in the position of Kamala Harris. You don't want to dismantle your boss, but at the same time, you want to chart a different plan. So I think we have done enough of the freeway businesses, I call it, like gas station, hotel, and fast food restaurant, name it, we have it. But those are not paying jobs that you can really. Homes now, Lathrop was supposed to be a village. Well, we have $1 million home in Lathrop. Believe, trust me on that. We sell 9 at the upper 9s and mid-level 6. But we don't have any jobs to to really balance that up. And that's because we were busy trying to build the city. We need the taxes revenue from McDonald's, Chipotle, and Philo, all those things that you see on the freeway that is not way in, that is not inside the city, that is on that people can easily come. Those taxes generated and the hotels that are lining up, those taxes that are generated is actually under the control of the city. It's not under the control of the county. Your property taxes goes to the county, and the county returns a little bit back to you. So we have like what we call 80-20. The county takes 80% of our property taxes. Only in California. Don't ask me. That's the way the incorporation was worked out. 80% goes to the county, 20% comes to the city. So that was not
So,
in.
what is the difference between county and the city?
Yeah, let's see. In this case, a county would be like a province,
Well, like a state.
like a semi state. Like a county would be like, it should take you group some cities, like maybe 10 cities together. This is for ease of management.
Mm.
Yeah. You group the cities might have their own mayor and all those things. They are independent. But you group like 6 or 10 of them together.
Whether to make a county.
They form a county.
Oh.
Just to make things a little bit easier, management. Like the complaint we have in Nigeria, where everything comes to the state and the money disappears. Unlike here, so the county gets whole. I forgot you are from Canada, so I'm sorry about that. So the county will be an intermediary now, like an outlook looking to what the state is doing. Why the city look at what the county is doing. So that is where it is. So that is the main difference between the city
and the county.
Wow. So we looking now, it's time to start to move businesses, high-paying local jobs that can manufacture in the city of Lathrop as we are growing. That way, they're still doing that commute now, the 2 hours back and forth that I was doing. People are doing it.
Because there are more businesses, more jobs outside of
Lathrop, exactly.
So it is time for you guys to attract more jobs to Lathrop so that people can be employed there.
That is my focus. That's my next focus now.
Yeah, that will take me to the next question. Are you planning to work with international communities to attract more jobs?
Yes, it is very, very important. For instance,
investors coming.
Yes, it is very, very important that you do that. First, you have to find the land. We have requests. Tesla is in Lathrop now. The company Tesla, Elon Musk. But all these companies, my sister, they ask for a lot of what do you call it? Deferred payment, either in taxes and all those things. But we can work those things out because we know we need the job. We need the manufacturing, and we need to keep the people and the children too. When they graduate, they need to know they are not living like we left, like everybody's living to one town to the other. We are losing. That's one of the complaints from the parents too. When I ask them, where's the baby I know that was in high school, where is he now? He's in Washington. He's in Oregon. He's in Canada. I said, what happened? Say, Paul, there's no job. Show me what they can do here. They don't. So we cannot even keep our own children close by because we do not have those kind of opportunities that exist outside. So that would be a good focus for me to really. We had enough. The freeway is almost congested now with sonic fast food and hotel. Now it's time to focus on attracting businesses, locally, international influence, and all those things. This is the time to do that now.
Fantastic. Interesting. So what is your stand on the upcoming presidential election? Did you agree with Donald Trump's? Sorry, who's calling me? Oh my goodness. Sorry.
That's okay, man.
So my next question is: did you agree with Donald Trump's remarks on eating the dogs and cats of?
No, that was your previous question. What's your previous question?
My previous question, the first one is: what is your stand on the upcoming presidential election?
Okay, all right, okay, that's one. Well, I mean, I look at it both ways. It's not because we're African Americans or all African Americans. We do need. We don't need all this rhetoric that are damaging to our psyche, that are damaging to our children. We are not children. Listen, they hear those things too. That's coming from the other guy. So I believe that accessibility, like you said, man, is the key. If African Americans do not have access or be on that table, like we have been absent for a long time, we will continue to be on the menu. Let us get Kamala Harris in there. At least we can continue to have that access. Individually or collectively, we can approach the system, if we can call it the system. In this case, we go to Washington, D.C. and continue the advocacy for our people, for our schools, for sound education. They want to cancel education. How do you close the Ministry of Education? And I know just the same thing we have back home. The rich will always find a way to send their children to colleges. It's only we that are in that peripheral. We are not rich, we are not poor, we are just managing to to get something done. We are the one that will take the brunt of that issue. So that's why I recommend, and I had voted about a week ago for Kamala Harris for the Democratic Party ticket.
Because you are a Democrat, that is why you will surely support Kamala Harris.
Well,
So, yeah, you are
it
a
doesn't.
Democrat.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't follow at this level. I'm not getting any at the local level. There's no money coming from the Democratic Party, or that they are supporting you or anything. You're on your own at this level.
At the same time, I know that you will always show your support for Kamala Harris because she's a Democrat, So let me ask you the next question. Did
Okay.
you agree with Donald Trump's remarks on the immigrants eating the dogs and cats of their good neighbors?
That is the
Good
that,
neighbors. There
it,
are some good neighbors. There are some immigrants eating the pets of good neighbors. They said, according to him, he said he saw people complaining that immigrants in their neighborhood ate their dogs. They
I'm
use their
telling
dog
you,
to cook food and eat.
I'm telling you, it's a cop out. It's a design plan to poison the mind of the people against immigrants. We discussed it today at the church too. I brought it up. There's a difference between deportation and mass deportation. When people outside are looking at our situation, they need to remember the exact words that this man said. There will be mass deportation.
Yeah.
Not just deportation if I commit any offense against the state. Of course, they have the right to, but we're talking about mass deportation. My whole family can be uprooted anytime. That is what mass deportation means. So how do you prepare people's mind for mass deportation? It is from that kind of statement. Look, these people are vermins. They come to eat your pets. They eat your cats. They eat your dogs. They take your job from you.
And his
And
wife is immigrant. The
he
wife.
himself, Mr. Trump is a German. His father is from Germany. And there are some things in there,
No,
but
what I'm trying to say is that the wife was not born in the US.
no, no. Even brother Elon Musk, the South African brother, it's not from South Africa. He's not born in the US. He's the greatest supporter, throwing all his money on Donald Trump. It's all about money. That young lady said it, and they crucify her. Ilan Omar. Remember Ilan Omar from Somalia? Yeah, he's on the House of Representatives. He's from Somalia. He said it's all about the Benjamin. It's all about money. And they forced that young lady to apologize openly. We are now seeing it. It's all about protecting that money, that influence. If you are preparing people's mind for a catastrophic move, what is better to we know the investment. Dogs alone in this country is about 100 billion. Their food is even better than what men eat, what human beings eat. Pet is a very big business in the United States.
In
What is
in, in almost all Western countries.
so it's easy to poison people's mind. And when you poison people's mind and cause this catastrophic statement to inflame the section of the society against immigrants or immigration policies per se, I think it is wrong. It is unacceptable.
Any reasonable person would think about his statement, because majority of Americans came to that country as immigrants, or their ancestors, their parents came as immigrants. Therefore, their parents were eating the dogs and cats of their neighbors, right?
Lady, they forgot that we forgot that they what we call. I'm
Mm,
sure you got a lot of Indians in
mm.
Canada,
Yes.
native Indians in
Mm,
Canada. We forgot those people are relegated. They don't. It's like they don't even exist. They are the ones that can say we are all immigrants. You guys
mm,
go back to where you come from.
yes.
But remember what happens to them, which is the reason you are having this TV program. You do not want that to happen to your people. You do not want the what happened to the Indian to happen to the Nigerian in diaspora or or anybody that is an immigrant in this country. That is how all these things start. They start to poison. They start to do all kind of stuff. The worst one, you omitted it. It's okay. Maybe we are hungry. We eat cattle. What about the poisoning of the blood? Yeah, say they poison our blood. Who
That's what.
is who? Yeah, that's what Trump said. We immigrants are poisoning the blood of the people. In
Ah,
other words, by intermarrying, when you marry an immigrant, yeah. So what there are bigger things in the works than just the cats and dog
what
issue.
when you say immigrants, is he referring to the white immigrant or the black immigrant? Because
He,
his wife is an immigrant woman in the
he's
US.
focused. He's focusing on Africa.
Yes.
He's
Uh-huh.
Haitian.
We have to be specific here.
Yeah, yeah, he did. He did. He's focusing on Africa. He called us all Chicho. He called us all kind of names. He's focusing on Africans, African migration. Going back to your question, that is enough for me as an immigrant, which I know I'm not taking anything. I'm contributing to this country to vote for the other. Get to vote for the other party, whether I'm protecting or not protecting, I belong, I don't belong. As an immigrant, I'm not going to vote for him. Yeah, that is enough for me not to vote for him. Those kind of statements, an attack. Yeah, many of them, the white, they did not register, they did not enlist in the military. They did not serve this country. Here we are. It just pained me that I come from a country where everything is so corrupt. We are doing selfless work, building other people's country.
Okay. Mm, yeah.
And our people, they just pretended they did not see. That's why I like the program. They need to see all those things. They need to be aware that there are people doing this job with little or no pay, and they don't have how much they have. They have to pay for newspaper allowance, uniform allowance, coat allowance. That's what they do back home. We don't have any of those things, and we still do the job for the
Okay.
people.
Exactly. Exactly. So, some of us were very surprised that a Republican elected Donald Trump as their candidate.
Mhm,
With what happened during his regime, the
mhm,
4 years, only 4 years that he spent in
mhm.
office, so they didn't get any other person in the Republican Party. That it is Donald Trump that they selected again to
It's,
face to face the
yeah,
Democrats.
I always forget. You have to always remind me that you are in Canada. Here,
Yeah.
my sister, here are the people that are listening to us on stream or any form of communication. You got to wonder why we are dying to send our children to American schools and colleges. What are they teaching? It's a bigger question, because if you are not taking logical reasoning, if you are not teaching all those things, basic things, how to think rationally and stuff like that, This is what you get. You get people, look at our Supreme Court. They created an avenue for one-man immunity. One-man immunity is never in part of the democratic form of government. All men are are created equal. But you say, no, this man, because he's of a different stock, is not created equal. It's actually more equal than the rest of the people. That is an affront on intelligent minds out there. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not a PhD in anything, but you can see that people manipulate things. It is all about fear. The white, the Caucasian are afraid. In 2040, whether we like it or not, the statistic says American will not be dominated by whites. It will be dominated. It will have a mixture of both white, brown. In other words, a combination of different races. And that is bringing fear into the people. But it's not a new fear. It has been there for a long time. We just don't pay attention. And that's why I encourage, whatever we do, man, whatever we do, we should not forget to educate the children to extent. It might not be up to PhD level, but let them be educated, even in social services and stuff, for them to know how we interact with each other. I'm sure during slavery time, people are doing the same thing that Donald Trump is saying now. That if you free these people, they will come back and kill you. They will come back and take revenge. That is why the slavery was a difficult thing to solve. And here we are in 2024. We are back to that argument again. You should keep these people around you. They will take your wife. They will take your pet. They will take your children. You will not even recognize them anymore.
We all know the history of Jim Crow's law.
Yes.
We know the history very well. Yeah.
Yes. So those things are still very much with us, man. So it's an expanded answer to your question, why, whether I'm a Democrat or anybody, that's the immigration policy alone is enough for me to vote for somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah, we understand that. We hope that the best candidate will win this upcoming election.
I agree with you.
Especially in favor of our people in the United States, because when the system fails our people in the United States, it will affect all of us, no matter where we are. I will give you an example what happened when Donald Trump was the president. Many of our people fled the US to Canada. There was I think one or two, I think two Ghanaian boys who walked from the US border across the border during the winter period. Freezing winter period. So they walked all the way from the United States to Canada. You know what happened when they came? They had frostbites. Frostbites. They went to the hospital and their hands were cut off because of the frostbite. So those things is not what we want. We don't want such cases. No, in 2024. No. So if Donald Trump wins this election, we're going to see even more than that.
It's going to be
mass deportation, like what you said.
Yes, we got to put the mass deportation there, and it doesn't mean it's going to be easy for him, but the idea of talking about it at all brings fear, and the fear is what brings those young boys to cross the border in winter time.
Yes, it was two of them. They walked to Canada, and they made it to Canada. However, they end up having their hands cut off.
That's not making it. The most important part of their body is cut off.
Yes.
They can. So anyway, I don't want my anger to start to show
Yeah, 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 yeah. We get emotional sometimes,
Yeah,
when you hear such
yes,
stories. Yeah,
yes,
we
yeah,
get
that's
emotional.
yeah,
So yeah, thank you so much, sir. It was a wonderful interview. Get to have you in the studio today to talk about your experience, especially how you started, what motivated you to this your political aspiration in the US. It's such a wonderful journey, and my condolences to the family for what happened to you at the beginning, your children, your wife. I'm really sorry about that,
yes,
and we thank God that. You see what God has done in your life. This is what God has given to you to console you for all the loss at the
yes,
beginning. And
yes,
well done for what you have been doing. You are such an inspiration to all of us, all of us. For those who are watching right now, Nigerians in diaspora, and you made mention of something that really impressed me. That some Nigerians they don't want to push too much because they believe that they speak with accents. They speak with that deep Nigerian accent.
yeah, mhm,
So yeah, that was one of my takeaway for today's program. That for those who are watching right now, you speak with accent. That does not stop you from getting that position. If you work hard, people look at how you work. They don't look at your accent
mhm,
when you get the job done. I
yes,
remember where I was working before here in Toronto. My manager looked at me one day, said, "Nekwe, you know what? One thing I love about you is that you get things done.
hmm, hmm.
You get I will never forget that they say you get
Outcome, yes, yes, you deliver. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what they would. That's what they want to see.
yes,
Deliverance. If you are
yes.
delivering, look. I encourage my listeners. I say, look, sir, ma'am, it encourages me.
Mm.
Issue to you say, okay, can you speak slowly? I say, okay, I can do that. So we got to have this balance stuff. I don't, Paul, you know what, Paul? I don't understand what you are saying. I say, well, maybe you should listen, yeah, a little bit carefully. I say, okay, fine. Maybe you too should sit slowly. I say, okay.
Slowly.
I say, okay. We have an agreement. So, so the accent could be an asset. At least it has been an asset to me
Mm,
that people turn around. Who is that speaking?
mm,
It's not a normal
mm.
normal accent. Uh,
Yes, it's not
whoever is
usual. It's not a
whoever is
usual.
speaking, whoever is speaking is not from here. So it brings a lot of curiosity.
Mm,
Uh, and I'm ready to answer those questions. Where are you from? How long have you been here? And do you have people back home? All those questions comes up.
mm,
And you answer them with enthusiasm. And you win them over because you are not ashamed of where you come from. You are not ashamed of where, I'm not the type that say, I'm not, don't send me back to, no, I love my country. That's where I was raised. I love the United States because it makes provision for me too and opportunities. It's a simple answer.
yeah, yeah. One of my friends told me one day, say, you know what, Nekme? Some people believe that speaking that Canadian accent, she used the word makes you a successful person. So the most yes, that's not. That is really. Oh, don't forget the way she said. She said, "Look, man, some people just believe, and that's the truth. That speaking that accent makes
No,
makes you a successful person. That is the belief."
it is our culture. It is our culture. Do you remember? I don't know, during my time, there are two type of, you can choose to speak oral English, but the oral English is based on British accent. So you can choose it in your school certificate at the time. Uh, you can choose. So the normal English is required of everybody. So everybody has to be able to write English language and all those things. But the oral English are those that get hired at the TV stations, because they speak that British accent. So,
Yeah,
uh, yeah. So it has been with our culture. We always think if it is foreign, it has to be better. and it's not always true.
Exactly. So
It's
when you
not.
come to this country, you speak with accent. Your accent is very difficult for you to take it away. And
Mhm,
before you start speaking with the accent, the dominant accent, or
mhm,
your host country's accent, it
mhm,
takes so much time, especially
mhm,
if you come as an adult to Canada.
mhm.
But if you
Yeah,
bring children, younger children here, it's very easy for them to
for
assimilate
them,
and
yeah, they, yeah. Mhm.
change their accent immediately. For
Yeah.
you as an adult, it takes so much time. You might not be able to even lose that accent for the
Don't
rest
lose
of
that.
your life. For
Exactly.
the rest of your life. So don't let that be a yardstick,
No, no,
from
not at all.
for excluding yourself from certain activities in the community.
Yes,
You
yes,
never
you're
know.
right.
So
Yeah.
you are such an inspiration to us, sir.
Yeah,
Coming to
thank
this
you.
program today is such a big aspiration to me myself.
Thank
Interviewing you.
thank
Thank you so much, and continue the good work.
you.
Once you win this election, we'll come to California to come and
Thank you.
celebrate with
I will hope you, I will hold you to that promise. You will be the first to know when we,
you.
because we only have about 9 days to go. So we will communicate back to you.
And
Thank
we're
you.
also sending message to the people of Lathrop to
Yes,
vote for you. Vote
yes,
for you. You have been serving the community
yes,
all
ma'am.
these years,
Yes,
and you
ma'am.
are ready. You are ready
Yes,
to take that position of a mayor of the city and deliver like what you
yes.
have done, more than what you have done in the past. So we are encouraging everyone, come out and vote for Councillor Akinjo as the mayor of the
Thank
city
you.
of Leta.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma.
All right. All
Thank
right,
you.
sir. So we'll
All right.
talk.
Thank you.
We'll talk.
All right, ma.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.